Hi there, today we're gonna talk about Trailblaze power and how to use it efficiently, since I think you already know that there is no point in using your fuel or Stellar Jades to recharge your Trailblaze power because there is just no sense in it. If you're super duper whale or you just want to get as much player experience as you can, then you can do this. But if you're just a free-to-play player or just an efficient player, there is no point in it. It's much better to save it up, use your Stellar Jades on your summons, and of course use your fuel. When you will be a bit deeper in the game, you will open the late game and you will be able to farm much more important things. Though we still have our Trailblaze power to spend somewhere, because basically farming anything, spending our Trailblaze power on anything is much better than just sitting on 180 Trailblaze power, because this is a limit, you can't go over it. So in this video we're gonna go through all the ways we can use our Trailblaze power and discuss them. It's really easy because we have this thing which accumulates all the things we can use our Trailblaze power on, so we'll just go through all of those paragraphs and discuss them. Let's first start from Calyx Golden, since this is the first thing you actually open in the game where you can use your Trailblaze power, and this is really good to go, since first of all you have to spend your Trailblaze power day one somewhere, and those, like all three of those, are really good because this is a thing where you farm your character XP material, this is for increasing level of your light cones, and those are just credits. And even though you might think that you have lots of credits and you really use just few to level up everything, you will need those, so just don't forget about them. I suggest you starting from character level up materials, for example, doing like 3 runs of those, then 3 runs of those, maybe 2 or 3 runs of those, and then just repeating the cycle, because those 3 of those are really needed. You will need them even in the late game, so there is no point in not farming those, especially when you don't have that much of a choice and you will just have to farm one of those 3 things. Right after that, we have Calyx Crimson and Stagnant Shadow, and they are really alike for me in terms of how you have to manage your Trailblaze power on those, because you have to farm those on demand. What do I mean? When you get, for example, to Equilibrium level 2, and you know that you, for example, want to level up your Trailblazer to level 50, then you check what material your main character requires to be leveled up to level 50, and you just do 2 or 1 run. You don't have to do this in the way that, for example, you want to level up Natasha. You check what resource she requires and just do all of your runs, spend all of your 180 Trailblaze power on that exact stage, just because you think it will be much better and much more safe to get a bit more than you need. This is the wrong way. You are limited with your Trailblaze power and you have lots of different characters to level up, so just do 1 or 2 runs. I may be mistaken here, but from what I remember, you need to do 2 runs to level up your 5-star character to level 50. I mean, to ascend the character from level 40 to then level up him to level 50. And for 4-star characters, we only need 1 run. I may be mistaken here, correct me in the comment section if I am, but you get what I mean. You don't have to like grind those hard, just do 1-2 runs for every character. This will be more than enough for now in the game. So basically, if you have one team, you only have to go maybe like 4 to 6, 8 runs on these things to actually level up your characters. It's not that much. I think it will be maybe 2 days, and then you can actually return to your Calyx Golden if you don't know what to farm then. But also we have Calyx Crimson, which is also important because here we can obtain resources for leveling up our traces, which are really important. You don't have to sleep on your traces, though I think that traces are not your main priority, because first of all you have to ascend your characters and then you can actually go for traces. And here it might be a bit complicated if you are not that into the game, but here we have an icons. For example, this is an icon for hunt, so from here we will get resources for hunt characters. So if you, for example, use your Danhang on regular base in every team, then you might, after ascending all 4 of your characters, start going for those resources. Then when you get all the key traces for Denheng. You start going, for example, for preservation because you also want to use your fire MC. So I think you get it. So again, only on demand, you don't have to get up, see that you have 180, for example, Trailblaze power, and just drop all of it into nihility because you have wealth and you are sure there will be no spare thing left because you will trace up him up to the end. It's impossible, you're still limited. Same goes to ascension materials. You can't, for example, ascend your wealth to level 90 if you just farm one exact thing. It's just impossible to do, so there is no point in farming those right now in the game, though of course you have to do this just to ascend your characters a bit, just again 1-2 runs for every character. Then when you deal with your traces which you consider to be needed for the characters, and when you deal with ascension materials, you can actually come back to Calyx Golden and just farm character level up materials or just credits or Lightcon level up materials without a problem. Also we have Cavern of Corrosion, which is I think where we will have to farm relics, and I think that there is no point for now to farm relics again, because relics have different rarity. We have 5-star relics, and when you level up your equilibrium levels to the point when you can farm legendary or 5-star relics, it will be much better to go for those, and that's why we actually, like, especially if we are free-to-play, I'm not free-to-play, but I mean, if you are a free-to-play, you are saving up your fuel exactly for 5-star relics, because, for example, if you are farming level up materials for characters, your characters will still, even in the late game, have to be leveled up. For relics, you will exactly replace those relics. So for example, if you now start farming for 4-star relics, start leveling them up, there will be no point because you'll just replace those relics with 5 stars. Of course, you can put those 4-star relic sets on some like third party or second party like characters, but there is no point in that. You will spend same amount of Trailblaze power on much better things, so just don't farm those. If you really struggle, or if you just like to be overpowered and deal much more damage to your enemies than you need, you can like do maybe 2 runs, just 2 runs, not 2 runs a day, just 2 runs, because you get solid amount of those relics. You don't have for sure to reroll for 4-star relics with the better stats and things like that, because it has no point. You will still replace at some point those relics. So I think it's obvious here, and you won't go for Cavern of Corrosion. About Echo of War, here we see that we consume only 30 Trailblaze power, and we have lots of different things we might get, also relics included, and we have light cones. We have a material which we can buy light cones with. We have also a material which actually lets us level up even more traces. But I want to say, even though this is just a perfect thing to run, you have to wait until here you will see, for example, 5 hours until reset, or 2 even better hours until reset. So I mean, don't rush this thing, because this is limited, and you don't want to do this, for example, on equilibrium level 1, just for example, when you can do this on equilibrium level 3 on before the next reset, on this reset, just because you just spent much more time in the game and you just leveled up yourself. So it's much better to just wait. I am not doing those, even though I can already do those. It's not a thing which you open like first hour of the game, but I already opened this and I am not farming those. I'm waiting. I really hope that in these 2 days and 17 hours I will be able to get to equilibrium level 3. It might not happen, most likely it won't happen, but I know that in theory I can do this, and that's why I'm not farming those. Just wait for some time, and especially like for this reset it's only 2 days. You might think you won't actually get that further into the game, but right after the reset, when you will have lots of time, don't do this. Don't do this like first hour after the reset. It just has no point. You can just wait. You will still get all of those resources. I'm not saying that you have to skip those. It's really important. You still have to do 3 of your runs since it's limited. But do this like in the last priority, just because, again, you, for example, yeah, you can farm lots of level up materials, then get to higher equilibrium level and still farm those level up materials. But with this thing, if you got your 3 attempts, you can't just continue farming this. So just save up like as much patience as you can for this thing, and then like last hours, of course, if you're gonna sleep when this thing is about to be reset, then do this maybe 12 hours before the reset, but just don't do this too early because you might just lose some additional rewards. And the last thing we can, like in theory farm, we can say is simulated universe. During the simulated universe you have those things where you can spend 40 TRAILBLAZE power or just this coin to actually get some rewards. And here we have actually a really important thing, because for example, if you log into the game, you see 180 TRAILBLAZE power, but you know that you'll have to go in few seconds and you just physically can't set a farming on anything. You can, like few times, just save up some of your TRAILBLAZE power by transferring it into this, because you can just spend 40 of your TRAILBLAZE power to get this coin, and you have a limit of 8 of those coins. Again, I think, yeah, you can't go over the limit, so it's not like a usual thing to do, but if you have the scenario when you physically can't farm, but you have 180 stamina, just buy a few of those coins, and then you might come back and use all of your stamina which you have. And the idea is really simple. Those are exactly the same. They are equal. So you will just at some point when you get maybe higher simulated universe, you can use those coins and without any problem, again, like get your TRAILBLAZE power back. And this is really good, but again, it's not a thing you have to do. If you have time, just farm something. But if you are limited on time, just buy this coin without any problem. But don't use it again, because simulated universe in terms of efficiency in investing your TRAILBLAZE power in currently is not that good. It's much better to wait when your planar ornaments will also have 5-star rarity, same as relics, and then you can actually farm for those. Of course, you'll have to reroll for those. It will be a headache. You'll have to waste lots of TRAILBLAZE power to actually get a good piece of relic. But for now, there is no point in it. Again, if you really struggle, if you have some problems, if you don't have any good characters, even though you can actually go through the game with just base free-to-play characters, but if you really want, you can just maybe throw like 80 TRAILBLAZE power into these, because after just spending one time 40 TRAILBLAZE power, you'll get lots of those planar ornaments, and you can just set them on every of your characters, no matter how good they are, just to get a bit more stats. But again, you don't have to do this for now. So our priorities are, like, the first priority in terms of importance is Echo of War, but we do this last because of time. We just have to wait until the reset, and right before the reset, no matter, for example, I'll still be on equilibrium level 2, but since I can't get to equilibrium level 3, I just have to do those 3 runs to just not lose them for the next week. So here we are obvious that we have to do this, but like last in terms of time, but first in terms of priority. Then, like, since this is a really basic stuff, you can farm those just when you, for example, have some spare stamina. You already ascended all of your characters you really want to ascend, you already gave them all the traces, and then you just can farm for those without any problem. And then when we have demand, we just not level up, we farm the materials to ascend and then level up our characters and to level up our traces. And then when we get further into the game, when we get to like late game-ish, we can actually start farming not Strange Enchanted Cavern of Corrosion and also Simulated Universe, because there we'll have 5-star relics which we anyway will use in the late game. We will anyway replace those 4-star relics, so there is just no point in, even if you get like the perfect 4-star relic, you'll still replace it. So that's all with our TRAILBLAZE power. Also, I want to just touch commissions, because I mean assignments, because they are partly like also this type of mechanic. We have like those 3 basic things which we like still have like we have this both in farming section and here in assignments, and I really recommend you just going for those 3 first priority. Then when you have more assignments limit, you can do some other stuff. I don't think that these or these are really that needed, because you can just farm those in open world. But again, if you have more assignments you wish you can send, then like those things, then you can do this. And about the time, you don't have to go, for example, exactly for 4 hours or exactly for 20 hours. You have to just like count the timing to get back to the game. For example, you get up at 7 a.m. and you can set your assignments. If you set them on 20 hours, this will mean that you will have to grab the rewards like 4 hours before this, so at 3 a.m. at night when you are sleeping. There is no point in it. But also you know that for 4 hours, for example, let's just cancel one of those to show you. For 4 hours, you know that you will be at school or at work, so you won't be able to get those back and reset your assignment. Then just select 8 hours or 12 hours when you will know that you will be in the game. And same when you come back, for example, it's evening, you know that you are going to sleep, you can set on 8 hours or 12 hours, or you have some spare time, you can set an assignment for 4 hours and then reset it before you go to sleep. And for example, before going to sleep, you'll set on 8 hours. So just create the situation when you can actually grab all of those rewards. Don't try going exactly for 4 hours when, for example, you know that you will come back to the game only tomorrow. And the same goes to 20 hours. Of course, if, for example, you're planning to not log in into days, then the best way to go is 20 hours. But regularly, just count when you will be able to open the game and reset the assignment. Don't try going especially for 12 hours because you counted that this is the most efficient way. The most efficient way is just to reset them as fast as possible. So that's all. Actually, again, assignments are not about our stamina or our Trailblaze power, but they are touching that a bit, since we can save up some Trailblaze power for this thing by getting assignments done, and then farm, for example, a bit more for these things to ascend our characters. So that's all for now. Again, like, I'm not saying here that you don't have to farm for something. If you really want, you can even farm relics, but there is just no point in it. And actually, that's all for now. Thanks for your kind attention, and see you soon.